In the early days of spring, I found myself alone with a dog who was hormonally challenged and missing his number one human companion. The start of this time had been difficult, as a terrible accident right outside the house had stirred up memories and emotions of times when things were difficult for us too. Memories of accidents that took months to recover from, major illness that arrived out of the blue, and pandemics that spun life off course, but ultimately had brought us to this moment in time. But as these alone days continued, Bozo and I slowly began to get to know each other.
Bozo? What are we doing? Are we going out? Huh? Yeah? Are we gonna go for a walk? Yeah? Yeah, the dog is still on heat in the village, and yesterday he jumped over quite a high wall to escape. And he's just whining all the time, so I'm really like, what are you doing? Are you waiting to go? So we're gonna go and have a walk. Because with Chris not being here, like he would have him out twice a day for an hour and a half. They'd go and do like 20,000 steps minimum a day. And I've just got other things to do as well, so, and then he doesn't want to go. I'm like, oh great, we'll go over to that valley and I'll get some pictures of the purple and the yellow, and he'll go part way and then he just wants to come back. And I think that's the hormones. And some of it could be he's missing Chris, but at least he has walked a little bit with me. I have no idea what day this is as far as the, I think the word is sozinha em casa. I think that's right, it's alone in the house. I think that's the right way to say it. I am alone, I'm not alone in the house, I'm alone with a dog. So what would that be? Sozinho com cão. Practicing my Portuguese. We have walked a little way up the path, and this dog is reluctant to go a little way up the path and has turned round, and we are now on the way back, and I'm just curious because I think I know where we're going. Anyway, I don't know if any of you actually watch. I've been watching Cesar Milan videos, you know, the dog trainer guy. He's amazing, and we have had a little bit of success with the old training thing, but I just think he would I would be failing miserably with the whole pack leader thing. Yes, oh well, small steps.
Indeed, in the next couple of days, a small significant step was made.
I don't know if you have seen from that little bit of footage, we have an exploring dog off the lead. Hooray! And at the moment he's really good because he's coming back when he's called. I think that the, I'm just checking because it's been 2 weeks of like mega stress. Oh no! Oh right, he's back to his old self. He's just, come here! He's just rolled in shit. What are you rolling in? Are you filthy now? What are you rolling in? Alright, we're back to normal. I don't think he's too filthy. Look at this dog. You are so good. You are coming right back. Oh, what a clever boy you are. You really are clever.
For a couple of days, I went to visit some former neighbours, hoping that this would give Bozo a rest from the hormonal hit he was receiving in the village. We headed to São Pedro do Sul. São Pedro do Sul is a small town on the west side of the Caramelo Mountains in central Portugal. Each morning, Bozo and I would explore a track that led out from the town and pass by a farm. It was such an interesting comparison with the village on the mountain. Less stark, equally as beautiful, although I think the village is nicer. And it was a strange thought to me that now a town with a population of only 6,000 inhabitants seemed huge. Morning is one of my favourite times to go walking out in nature, connect with the land. It is beautiful. The light is just perfect, that golden hour just after the sun has risen, when everything is bathed in beauty. In spring, it's the birds that accompany you. They sing and are happy. I love it. It's a great way to think, to straighten out your heart and your mind, and just take some time.
You can really see the effect of fires here. You can see it all over this region. And here, what's really interesting is there's quite a few cork oaks, but their trunks, their bark is really blackened. So, and these in front of me here are all black. So it's such a tragedy. I mean, nature's incredibly amazing at restoring and renewing, but you can only push nature so far, I think. And then it's the impact on the land and the fact that you've got these beautiful trees that are native to here, like pine trees and cork oak and cedar. They have cedar here, and they're just beautiful. But it's being overrun by the eucalyptus that's not native and is the fire hazard. So, I'm waxing lyrical this morning. I'll get to it in a minute. I'm kind of missing Chris quite a lot. I don't know if I'm missing him, it's more, I want him to come home now. I just want him to be back and everything to be safe. I like things to be safe.
After my morning reflections, I headed into the main town with my Brazilian friend for a walk along the river. São Pedro do Sul is famous for its thermal baths, which date back to pre-Roman times.
Not hot.
Because of COVID, the town was practically empty, but it was still possible to experience some of the hot water fountains.
Oh wow!
This is more warm than the other one.
Yeah. Oh, that's That's so bizarre.
It's weird, right?
So Pedro do Sul had a charming atmosphere about it. The river, stately, quietly flowed through the town, in very different contrast to the chatter and babble of the streams up on the mountain.
Já não tenho de beber, pois a sede que eu senti. Ai, que coisa linda! It's a love poem.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, I have thirsty.
Yep.
And I came to drink at the San Martin fountain. Since then, to see you, I don't look for another path. But when I see you, the thirst gone. I don't feel the need to drink anymore because the thirst that I feel it was just to see you.
It's definitely a place I'd love to come back to. Although, double-edged sword, it was really a privilege to see it, almost empty, yet probably at that time a devastating impact on the economy of the town, which clearly relies heavily on tourism.
Hi.
After a brief respite from the village, Bozo and I returned. But our troubles together were not quite over. The following Friday morning, Bozo headed off with another dog friend and did not come back for 5 hours. Oh well.
So I'm hoping this morning, we're now into April. Bozo, come! 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 Speak to you soon. Good boy! Hi! We now have a little bit of a happier dog. Bozo! Come! Come! It's coming. Bless it. Oh my goodness, you are such a good boy. You really are a good boy. Oh, off you go. So the dog and I have made good progress. I've managed to get a little bit of training in. When there are no distractions, he is coming back. We found out from the vets yesterday what kind of a dog he is. He's a Portuguese Podengo Pequeno. And I've just been reading all the characteristics of this little dog, and he really is. It's like, oh right, yeah, he's gorgeous. So I really thought he reminds me of, in the UK there's a breed of dog called a Jack Russell. And he reminds me of a Jack Russell that we had as a family, called Aloysius or Wishy. And there's a few times where I've called him Wishy, and it's like, oh no, you're not that dog.
The time Bozo and I would spend alone was coming to an end, but as Chris made preparations to return, my disaster thinking was on full. I am the type of person who imagines a terrible consequence for any and every situation. If you know about the Enneagram, then I am definitely a 6. Join me next time when I continue my story on this mountain. We need a permanent place to live. Give me a like before you go, and for those 6s out there, it's okay. It works out. Subscribe to this channel, click the bell, so that you know when the next story is ready. Goodbye.